Wise.
Yeah, speaker.
Please, can you unmute yourselves, please? Can the media unmute everybody, please? I'm sorry, can you mute everybody? Please. Can you please mute yourself to avoid distraction?
Collier, share your music, share your love.
Is there, I want to know, is there anything like echo from my end? Can somebody,
you can
is
go
there
ahead.
any echo
You're
from
good.
my end?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly now.
Please, thank you so much. If you need to talk, if you need to say anything, please use the chat box. I have it open, so I can always read from here. Please, if you need to say anything, muting yourself is not going to help you. It's going to help everyone to have a perfect, section today. So, good evening, everybody. Once again, I believe you're on this platform because you are making efforts to resume to the US next year. Spring to open in January or fall to start in August. I want to believe those are the people we have here. And this is a group of people, they must have started something. I mean, by now they should have started working on their international passports. These same people must have started working on mailing professors. And if your program requires you to write standardized exam, you must have started reading for it. I want to believe that because by September next month, most schools will have their application portal open for fall. Those guys to resume in August, they will have it open by September. And those guys that are planning to resume in January, they should have it open now. So that means you have no time to waste. And just in the last webinar, it was well emphasized that early application is key. If you don't have an alternative to funding yourself, if you really want to get this full funding you are talking about, not just admit, early application cannot be overemphasized. I want to believe all of these things I've stated are well. I want to believe I've said earlier, everything are in place. I'm sorry you are working on them. So today we'll be talking about the last meeting. Can you please unmute yourself, please? Okay. The last webinar we talked about standardized exam. I will emphasize it here again because I've seen lots of questions. GRE, TOEFL, IELTS, SAT or ACT. Now I will emphasize it again. For folks coming for either master's or PhD in the US, they need to take the GRE, Direct Record exams. I decided not to have a PowerPoint for this session because I felt I want it to be more of a follow-up and a little of follow-up and more of writing CV. That's why I don't have a PowerPoint this time around. Now, the GRE will be taken by folks that are planning to come in for either master's or PhD. I don't something else to tell you. It's not compulsory. It's not this, it's not that. For some programs, even if they tell you our advice will take because a point to come while reviewing the application, don't forget coming in for PhD at most 6, 7, 8 students. I've not heard of 10 students in a cohort PhD. I've not heard that before. Imagine 300 persons applying for the same program. They are part of the world, and they are so competitive. They are very competitive profile, and you don't. So yeah, you need to just keep working on how you can yourself marketable. Everything like it's better you have excess material. You are overqualified, but I don't think you can be. It's better you don't need something and you end up not needing it than you now getting to regret that, oh, I wish I had this, I could have gotten this. Somebody is saying there's inference. Is that true? Can you hear me very well now?
Yeah, we can hear you very well. Thank
Is
you.
there anything like echo or something?
No.
Okay, thank you so much. So that's for GRE. I recommend everyone, please try to take the exam. Please try. Then also, some schools will tell you it's not required. Don't forget, such schools, many people will want to put, we want to rush such schools, right? It's better you don't, when you decide not to take the GRE, because some schools tell you GRE is not required, it will only restrict to those schools that are not requiring GRE, whereby there are lots of schools out there that they have this fund and they will require for this thing. I'm sure you will not hear the fact. I'm sure it's not possible for you to hear schools like Harvard, Princeton, and all of that telling you there's no GRE is not required. I don't think so. I don't think so. If you want to get good schools in the US, please take it. Also, TOEFL too. TOEFL is not compulsory for some schools. If a school tell you TOEFL is not compulsory, it's not required, you can be at rest, but not GRE, because being a Nigerian, be an African, be a Ghanaian, as in from Africa, most African countries, I mean the English-speaking countries in Africa, if they tell you it's not required, you can still relax. But at least don't forget that we also restrict you to some schools, not all schools. So if in a way to have a full package to make you to be set for this thing, you can't do it too much. Please take the TOEFL. IELTS is not compulsory. IELTS, most schools in UK, Canada, they are the ones that require IELTS. So if you are coming for the for US, then I want to recommend you to take the TOEFL, not the IELTS. Then for folks coming for bachelors, please, there are schools in the US giving out funds. I can't be very sure of full funding for bachelors. It's not very sure, like we have for grad students. For bachelor's degree, if you're already above 2021, you have to think twice, please. You have to think twice. However, for grad students, master's, PhD, age is never a limit. If you are 60-year-old, you're on this platform, you have to thrive well in a grad school, please apply. If you are 65, apply. If you think you will cope. So age is never a limit for grad studies in the US. But for bachelors, please, you have to think twice. If you are above 2021, you want to go for bachelors, please, you have to think twice. So for folks coming for bachelor's degree, you have to think of SAT and ACT. From record, SAT seems easier to pass, but you need to be sure that the school is not mandating you to take SAT. That is why I will also advise that I dropped a mail format on the group some time ago, and the last video that was posted on the webinar, it was well stated how to write mails to professors. I tell you, if you give them a good mail sample, like a good mail to a professor, I'm telling you, expect a good response. So having cleared that, I want to believe we are on the same page. I want to believe that. Now let's go to CV. Don't forget, one of the documents you must attach to your mail, send it to the credit coordinator or a professor. For guys that want to work in lab-related course, one of the documents you need to attach is your CV and your transcript. Now let's go to CV quickly. Okay, I have it posted on the Telegram. Can you see my screen, please? No. Can you see my screen?
No.
Okay, thank you.
No.
Effort has been, okay, no. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, we can.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Now, effort has been made. I think I tried to send this same format to the Telegram group. So folks, for some of you, for those of you that are in Telegram group, you should be able to access these same documents. You can edit. Now, we have academic CV and professional CV. So you can't submit a professional or career inclined CV for an academic purpose. If you want to go for submitting an academic CV, I recommend this format. If you think you have a better format, it's good, please go for it. Your name. Now, I recommend Timely Woman, 12 font size. For your name, of course, it has to be centralized. This is, I don't know why, this is actually a new system. It is a new system, so I'm still trying to get myself through it and all of that. I'm not able to edit this. I would have loved to edit. So your name will be centralized, of course, bolded, as you can see here, but centralized, control center. If you are not on LinkedIn, I think you are not too correct, because I think you are wrong. You want to come for grad school, for graduate studies in the US, you should have a LinkedIn account. If you don't have, it's not too late. Go and get one and start building your profile, put in your profile and make it, nice. You never can tell who you can connect with. Now, here we have your name centralized in the uppercase, all uppercase. Now your phone number, your email. You may or may not put your mailing address. You may or may not. You may not put your mailing address, but put your LinkedIn link, a link that anyone can copy, like your URL that would lead anyone seeing your CV to your LinkedIn account. Please have it here. So your phone number, your email address, and your LinkedIn link to your email. And however, this can you see my cursor, please? Can you see my cursor?
Sure, I can see it.
Yes, we can see it.
My cursor. Okay, thank you so much. Now,
Yes, that's it.
you don't need to, but you may, if you have a good summary of who you are, you can put here, but something precise and concise, please. Now, your education, that's the first thing you want to see in your academic CV. For those of you that have bachelor's, master's, PhD, please, can you unmute yourself, please? Can you please unmute yourself? Thank you so much. Now, I would advise you make this chronological. If you have a master's degree, your master's will come first. Not that you bring your bachelor's first, the master's will follow. I hope that is clear. So your master's will come first, then your PhD, of course, or bachelor's. But if you have a PhD, master's, and the like. So in this case, I wish I'm able to edit these documents to that be easier, but I will try and make it kind of a little bit more explicit. Now, the first thing you want to do is, I'm assuming I'm talking to someone who probably doesn't have a PhD. Maybe a master's is your probably highest academic qualification. So you put master's in science, MSc, Master of Science in elect or MTech elect. The next thing is the name of your school, University of Ibadan, Nigeria. University of Ibadan, Ibadan, Nigeria. Then you put in your of course the year of graduation. But I think some people probably are still on their master's program. Maybe I have to cut them, kind of pause the whole program. In that case, in this part of the CV, you can put in parentheses, in brackets, in view. If you are probably on your master's degree and maybe you are still on NTIS to finish, and you want the admission committee to know you are on the master's program. Do you understand? So, Masters of Science in elect, University of Ibadan, Ibadan, Nigeria. Then, of course, you put, if you are done, you put the year. I will recommend, now I'll give you a reason why I don't recommend months. I'll give you a reason why later. I will recommend you put year, 2020, 2021, 2023, or anything. Just put the year, the range. Then you do that for your bachelor's. But however, our advice, since this is submitted for admission purpose, you need to get course content. So after your master's or wherever, university or wherever, then the next thing is course content. Of course, your advisor name, then course content. Now, for somebody who is coming in for economics, for example, you did macroeconomics, you did micro, you did advanced calculus. So the main courses that you think are, the strong courses that you took back then in your, master's or bachelor's, that has some correlation with the course you want to pursue. Those are the courses you put as course content. You don't have to highlight all the courses you took, please. It can be just 6. But these are the 6 strongest courses that you took back then that will help you that has some level of correlation with the next program you want to apply for. I hope that is clear. Then the next thing is this, and let me also say this at this point. The fact that you studied a particular course A does not mean you must study the same A in your next academic pursuits. No, you might have, by the grace of God, I told you I'm on my PhD in economics. I did not study economics both at the BSc level and master's level. I had my bachelor's and my master's degree in agricultural economics, not economics. Please, let's try and omit ourselves, please. So you don't have to continue in the same field, please. I need to state that. But however, any field you want to continue with, ensure there is a connection. Please don't be too far. You can't tell me you studied accounting, you want to go and study let's. No, that is not possible, right? Thank you so much. Because you will submit your transcript for application, and they will go through your transcript now, not the grade. They want to see the courses you took. They want to see, does this person have the requisite knowledge to cope with this program? That's why you must not be too far. But you don't have to stick to the same program, please. And if the reason why you want to leave your program to another program is because maybe there's no job, you feel this course is not marketable in my home country. No, that may not be the case everywhere. Please, for folks that probably studied chemistry, if you of chemistry, where can I work? Maybe I will just no. Don't be. Let me just emphasize this. It's very important. Of all the graduate program that are funded in the US, chemistry seems to be the, if not the first, then must be the second. Chemistry most time is kind of looked down upon and all of the other like. So that course I think is not marketable. You may be wrong. So make your findings very well before you make a decision to leave because of a flimsy reason, please. Now let's leave education. Now, honors and awards. If you don't have this, you may not bother. But if you have, and also mind you, honors and award must be something in line with the course you want to study or you studied. Not that you are the best footballer in your no. That's not a correlation unless you want to go for sports or whatever, any course related to sports. Because you are the best person in catering in your no. Please, if you want to talk about awards, please, it has to be something related, please. Then the next thing you want to think about is your research experience. At this point, now I have to say a lot of things at this point. Now, I've been able to see some persons. I was able to see some of their CV and the likes. They are going for PhD and MSc or masters of PhD, preferably specifically PhD. The first thing they want to see after your education, even before education possibly, is your research experience. You want to see, does this person has some background knowledge about research? Because PhD is about research. Some departments, after the first year of coursework, they are done with coursework. Till they will finish the work program, they keep working on research. Some persons from first year, they start research. So they want to see this research experience. They want to see how experienced you are when it comes to research. Now, I want to emphasize this research. Please, some of you actually have some experience in research, but you don't know you do. I want to give an example of someone who just finished undergraduate, right? I want to go for a PhD. We think I don't have the only thing I have as an experience is just my dissertation, my research projects, and that's all. That may not be true. One thing I would advise anybody to do is to sit down, get a pen and a notepad, and think. Try and look back, reflect. What have you done for someone? Have you by any chance helped someone to do some data collection? Have you by any chance helped someone to do some review of literature? Have you at any time helped someone to do or maybe to work in the lab? It might be a week program. It can be just 3 days. It's an experience. It can be 1 day. 1 day. I remember a particular time, during my master's program, then I assisted a lecturer to do some data collection and all of that. We used primary data. I'm telling you, I added it to my CV as experience, and that is true. It's just a 2 weeks program. It's research, and because I was a research assistant to that man. So please, you can't overemphasize this. If you must have something written here, you must have something, at least 3 things you must put as your experience in research. You must. If you don't, I'm so scared about how you want to get in as a PhD student. Please, I'm so scared. Please have something. You must have something. All you need to do is just to sit down and reflect. I was talking to someone some time ago. When I went to the same thing, I told the person I was so blunt. I said this CV is nothing. Like it's like there's nothing else to do with this CV. Because when I went through it, this is not what people want to see. I have to sit her down, ask her questions. And I later got to know that this person actually have this experience. Just that she did not know those things we actually can't. Those are the things she put in her profile. She got this full funding, bachelor's funding. Not even a STEM course for that matter. Not even a STEM course for that matter. What do you think? Please, you cannot overemphasize this. Please. And how do you write it? Research assistant, if that's what you did, research intern, maybe you even did internship. Yes, it's part of research. Maybe you did some things, maybe as someone in architecture, you did the internship with an organization, you help them to do some designs. Those designs itself, they are research. Maybe you did something like you want to know how this affects some buildings, you did some practical, some field work. These are research. Something they put in there as a research. Please, you should have something. Please, research intern, research assistant, lab assistant, all of those stuff. Please, these are things you must put in here as your experience. And how do you write it? You put, I want to assume maybe what yours was research assistant. Research assistant. The next line, that will be bolding. The next line will be, maybe you work with Tunish Laboratory, for example. I'm just giving an example. The next line, that would, of course, then the next line, what you did, it's bullet points, you try. And please don't start writing don't start writing story, just in a sentence, or maybe phrase. Just summary of what you did. I did this, I did that. I'm not saying you say I did this, you can say, reviewed literatures, analyze data, and all of that. Those are what you put there as your accomplishments. Please, for each of those things you did, I'm very sure you did something. Think about it and you'll get something. Don't leave this part blank. If you are coming for PhD or masters, please. Now, teaching experience now is very important too. Very, very important, because as a grad student in the US, on rare cases, very rare, it will happen for you to come to the US as a grad student on full scholarship. You spend 5 years without being a teaching assistant. Though some people, they have that kind of story, but it's not common. At least your first year, you'll be a teaching assistant. You want to see your teaching experience, please. You may say, I've thought of before, what will I put? Perhaps you were maybe in your department back then, in undergrad, you were organizing tutorials, people come to you to teach them, and all of that. These are things you package. Then I want to say this about CV, please. As much as your transcript, your undergraduate CGPA, as much as it is important, so also is your CV, so also is your SOP, so also is your letter of recommendations. These documents are very important. These are what describes you. These are what tells us who you are. Please, you cannot overemphasize each of these things. Please, CV, make sure you do a very good work on it. You cannot overdo it, please. Now, for example, you were a tutor in a particular place. You can say tutor, or maybe you have maybe a professor, a teacher, or probably, back then during my master's program, then some of the lecturers, they'll just say, come and invigilate, come and mark. These are things you put, please, as your experience. It is all about teaching experience, please. You say teaching assistant, then you highlight the things you did, then the name of the school, and you highlight the things you did, please. Then let's go. Now, I said the other time, I don't advise you put months, like May 2015 to August 2016. Why? Is because there are some things you did that just lasted for just maybe 2 weeks or just 2 months. You don't want to put the months like May, this. You putting the year only is important. It's okay, because you don't have to let them know, oh, this thing is just 2 weeks experience. So, and you have to be consistent. Don't forget, consistency is key in this thing. So that's why I would recommend you just put the year. Just year is okay, instead of you putting months. Do you understand? Then that's about teaching experience. Now, publications. Publications is good, please. If you don't have, but it's good, it's key. But maybe probably you're working on something. Maybe it's an ongoing research or something. Please put it. Now, for you that don't have publication, what you will put here? This publication is research projects. Research projects. Your undergraduate research, maybe you did effect of something or something. This is how you write it. You put your last name. In my case, I'll put Esther, then I'll put comma, I'll put Iho. I'll put my research topic, right? Then the year I did it. Under it, I'll put in parentheses undergraduate research project or master's thesis or PhD dissertation, as the case may be. For you that don't have any publication, you must have something, please. And our advice, if it's possible, we have just 2 or 3 months to do something. 3 or 4 of you can collaborate and start working on the research. You don't have to publish before you put it. You can say ongoing research. Yeah, ongoing research. Maybe 3 of you can collaborate and start working on something that let's try and publish. Or you can even look for a professor in your alma mater and say, oh, please, can I work with you? You don't have to pay me. Let me just work with you. Give me jobs to do. Don't forget that thing, you can put it in your CV, please. And that same thing will also reflect in your SOP. These are ways to get experience. It doesn't come from everyone or something. Please, you create it and trust God. And trust God to help you. Then that's all about publication. If you don't have if you have no publication at all, then you should put your research projects. Prophet, are you there? I think some patients are they're in the waiting room.
Yes, I'm with you.
Can you open the? Can you leave the room open for people to enter?
Yeah, thank you.
Leave it open, please, for people to enter. Now, for patency, that's if you do, but if you don't, you can leave it. Also, in case you have gone somewhere for presentations, maybe you went for a conference and all of that, please put that thing that you think. Once I just want to emphasize here is this, please. I'm very sure there are some things you have done in time past. Just think and reflect. Even though you can tell me, oh, I don't have any experience, just bachelor's. I'm just a core member. I did my defense last month. I'm just preparing for NYSC. But you have some experience, but you don't know. Just think and reflect. You have something. All you need to do is to write it down and package it, make it presentable, and that's all you need to submit, and you'll be fine. Please. Now I need to go to professional training. Yeah, at this point, I'm sure you must have gone for any training, probably in your department, maybe outside your school. But don't mind it has to be training that is related to your course. Don't tell me I went for soap making training. No, that one will not emphasize you, right? Please, things that are academic, academically. Please kindly try to meet yourself if you can. Please, that's about professional training. Then the next thing I want to say is professional affiliation. I believe everybody must have something to write here. If you don't have anything, go and join something. Go online. Probably you are in a net, right? Member, just go to their websites. Look at how to be a member. Sometimes they don't even require payments. Just be a member and put it in your CV. Simple. Some of these things you may not have them now, but there are things that you can actually create, right? Maybe your undergraduate program, you were in psychology departments, and maybe there's this nationalization of psychology student, all of that. In a professional affiliation, put it. And probably your field, there are Nigerian bodies, African bodies, national bodies in your field that you can be a member, even without payments. Sometimes with just little amount of money, you can be a member. To be in your CV. So let everybody try to have something here. If you don't have, go and join something and put. Then, professional service. Well, that is if. Now, I want to say something now. Professional service is different from community service. This is more like volunteering. Maybe you were maybe you were leader in your fellowship, you were this and that. This is community service. Now, professional service. Let's assume maybe you went for a conference, you were rapporteur, or maybe you were moderator, all of that. Maybe there are all these volunteers that has to do with that is kind of professional in nature. These are the things you will put here. I can be very sure everybody here, if you are able to finish your bachelor's degree and you are able to complete that program, then you must have something to write, something nice to write. All you need to do is just to think. Then languages. Now, at this point, what you need to do, I'm assuming I'm talking to someone For example, someone who is maybe someone from the Igbo tribe of Nigeria. The first thing that we will put here, you don't have to put all of this story. This is just explanation. The first thing you need to put here is English. English is not your native language, right? All of these stories we have here, listening, speaking, reading, and writing skill, put it, maybe you're intermediate, maybe I want to assume every Nigerian, every Ghanaian, people from the Republic is French speaking, all these countries, Gambia, all of those guys, South African, they are English speakers, right? I want to believe they are advanced, let me say, writers to some extent. Must be at least, you may not be an advanced speaker, but at least if you think you speak good English, you can tell yourself you can call yourself an advanced speaker. Then I don't know your reading skill. Everybody should be able to read. You must be an advanced reader. You must be, yeah. If English is a medium of instruction. Now, one of the ways you can actually avoid writing TOEFL, let me tell you. When you are sending a mail to the very coordinator, ask them if TOEFL is actually a requirement to getting great assistantship. Provide you have to let them know that okay. However, your medium of instruction while at school is English. So then they will let you know if English proficiency certificates is required or you just have to write the TOEFL. So if they are telling if they are able to waive it for you with or without proficiency certificates, then you are good. That's about TOEFL. But in this CV, you have to put it. Then if you are an Igbo speaker, then you put Igbo, then you put native language. That's a native language or something. Then our advice, if you can actually avoid the Igbo something, maybe you understand, because Igbo is kind of local. Think about Spanish. Maybe you can speak German, all of those stuff. I would prefer it to Igbo, French. In a way, to some extent, I understand a bit of English. In my CV, I think I added English and French. Yeah, English and French. These are my major languages at least, but I'm not a major speaker of French anyways. Now, computer skills, everybody must have this computer skills. You must, at least, you can do Microsoft Office. You must be able to type. I want to believe that's the basic, that's the most basic thing. You know how to do SPSS, you have to know about Python. Then there are some softwares that are related to your field that you should be able to use. Maybe SAS, Theta, R, programming, MATLAB. Those are, these are things you can actually put as a computer skills. You must know, you must be able to put these things here. Then I think that's all you need to do for your CV. Now, references. You may or may not. It's not compulsory. I did not add references to my CV. I did not. But you may not. It's not compulsory. But if you want to, why not? If not. Then all this hobby and all of that. So, I don't know. You may or you may not. It's not compulsory. It's not compulsory. Please, I want to believe with this format and I've taken time to explain this. You should have something, at least have 2 pages or 1.5, 12 font size, Time New Roman. I don't know why I'm echoing. Time New Roman, 12 font size, at least 1.5. You must have. Do something, but don't put lies. Please try not to put lies. Be sincere. But that one thing you did, it can be 2 days program, 2 days experience. Put it there. You don't have to, maybe you did 1-2 days program today, next month another 2 days program, and all of that. You can put them together. And no, sorry, you don't have to put them. I mean, don't put them together. Highlight them. The first one is this, second one is all of that, and it will help you. I want to believe you should be able to produce a good CV with this. Don't forget, I said earlier, if you have a better format, please use it than this. But if you don't, I recommend this. And don't forget to use all these lines and all of that. Each of the section, you start them. Of course, like you can put them in uppercase and all of that. Then I think you'll be fine. Thank you so much. Now, at this point, we need to go to our questions and answers without wasting time. I know you have lots of questions. It doesn't have to be our TV, but please, I want to believe, like I said on the Telegram group, you must have watched the 2 videos. You must have, please. But if you don't, if you have not, and you still have some questions, please be free to ask. But to do us a lot of favor, if you have some requisite knowledge that we have discussed in the past. But if you don't, no problem. So we want to open the ground for question and answer. Please, we will not allow you to ask your questions. Type in your questions in the chat box, please. Except you you can be sure that you have a good network where you are, and you will raise up your hand. You'll be called upon, unmute yourself and ask your questions. Please, we want to try to make it well organized. One person, please type in your questions in the chat box. Please and please in the chat box. Let's have a question in the chat box. Put them there. If you're on YouTube, please put them in the comment section and all of that. I want to invite Victor Adegboye. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Prof. Felix, okay? Are you there? Okay. Yeah, let's have you, Mr. Elijah.
All right, good day, ma. Thank you so much for all you do. Can you hear me clearly, please?
Very well.
All right. Please, I'm still an undergraduate student of I study mechanical engineering, 400 level. So I'm actually a little bit curious. I just want to have the exposure. That was why I decided to attend this webinar. So, but the question I want to ask is, like, my desire is immediately after finishing writing my final exam in my university, I'm supposed to be in my final year, but because of the ASU strike,
I understand. Okay, summarize it.
Immediately I want to gain admission, if possible, immediately after writing my final exam in the university. So I want to know how do I prepare, and what necessary preparations do I quickly make right now, considering that there are some processes require time. So what exams do you think I should be preparing for now, so that by that time
okay, thank you so much. Very simple question. I can't tell you to stop your program. You're almost done. You're in the 4th year out of 5, I guess. You cannot tell me you want to apply for PSC in the US and probably of age.
No.
The best thing you can do now, go and start reading for GRE. It's not a crime if you take your GRE while undergraduate. It's not. You can't take it. If you know you will pass, start reading now. As it's on strike, maybe you're free. Take up the exam, read and pass. Possibly after your final program, if you're able to fast track and get your, what's it called? Your transcript out, please apply and come into the US. You don't have to waste time. So start reading for your GRE. You can, but for TOEFL, I can't tell you to read for TOEFL because TOEFL lasts for 2 years. You never can tell, so you don't waste the opportunity. But for GRE lasts for 5 years. If you know you can read and pass, you are good in mathematics, you are good in your verbal, you can listen well AWA, start reading, take your exam. You can write the GRE in your 4th year. If, in fact, I advise people that want to come to the US with a PhD or whatever, a master's, it's not a must to wait till after your final year before you start. You can start.
Thank you so much.
We have a question from Philip. Is the US school disability friendly?
Disability?
Yeah, is the USA school disability friendly?
Capital YES. Yes, I was part of the protocol for the commencement. Now, what they call graduation in Nigeria, they call it commencement in the US. Like for my school, this May, like I know some of them maybe are, well, I want to be careful to use a word. What's Nigerian called imbecile, right? They are graduating. They are able to come to school, graduates. So please, it's a capital yes.
All right, that's another question. Can we get this CV format? I'll send the link on Telegram. We're gonna do that. We're gonna send the CV format. It's already sent on the Telegram group, and we're gonna send a link to that Telegram group. So
it's on the Telegram already. I've sent to the Telegram.
Yeah. So good evening, moderators and organizers. I just hope my question is not too early to be asked. Can we get a brief or general knowledge on how to go about application fee waiver?
Bro Victor.
Application fee waivers. So I think if you check, sometimes it's on the websites of the schools. Sometimes you have to, the best strategy is you can email the graduate coordinators and explain your situation to them. Please, there's a series of questions that Esther shared, or like an email. I believe she shared it on the Telegram group. So one of the questions you can ask is, can you kindly let me know if there's any opportunity for a GRE for what's it called?
Application fee waiver.
Yes, you should ask. So some of them float around on the internet. For UNH, you can ask Sister Esther. So yeah, as long as you ask, there's no harm in asking. If you ask, you may find. There's no guarantee, but you may find something.
Thank you. And please, when you're writing a Ghana coordinator to ask for a fee waiver, probably at the beginning of your relationship, relating with them, you're not able to ask. Maybe you start your application, you want to ask. Write a story to them, for them, or tell them your home country is this, or probably you're financially challenged, cannot, but attach your CV and your transcripts. Sometimes when you have good profile, those guys can go, they can take further steps to help you. Sometimes they can. So, and the question is yes, but not all schools waive application fee, no matter what you do. Some schools will not waive, some schools will not waive. And that should not be a reason why you should run away from that school. Perhaps that school is it's showing green light already. And if you say because they are not waiving, I will not apply. They are not doing the best thing, please.
So we'll take the next questions. God bless you, Sister Esther. Please kindly expatiate on funding for bachelor's degree, how hard it is. It's funding possible on writing SAT or ACT?
Okay, let me start with the second question. Funding on ACT and SAT, the answer is no. Unless maybe you are able to get somebody who is benevolent, who wants to sponsor you to write your exam. Because you have to write the exam before you enter US. So the school is not going to sponsor you to write the exam to come to their school. So if you have somebody who wants to sponsor you, good. But the answer is no. There's no, I don't know, there's no funding for that in quotes. It's from your pocket or somebody wants to help you. Now about funding for bachelors, the answer is yes. And the answer is maybe say no to some extent. Some people are very lucky. They have a good profile. That's what I'm saying. Start your school search now, like now. Don't wait till then. You want to start rushing up and down. Start your school search. You want to know schools that can actually, if you can do a thorough search, some schools will fund you bachelor's full funding. Some schools will do, but they may not pay you stipend. They may not pay you stipend. Then you have to do some on-campus job and get money to sponsor your, at least your feeding, your living expenses. That's for bachelors. While most schools, they do partial funding. But if you can search, start the search now. As I said, start mailing professors, relating with them, look out for green lights. If it's purely red lights, run away. If it's a bit yellow, stay. Probe them more, ask more questions, and look out for schools that are showing green lights. Apply to those schools. You may, if you work very hard and you enjoy gospel, you may get full funding bachelors, but it's not as common as we have for graduate studies. Those are the guys that actually get those funding. For bachelors, it's partial, most times partial, few times full.
All right, we give an opportunity for Inyolu Konde to ask a question. Please unmute yourself and ask a question.
Yeah, good evening, Sister Esther. Good evening, facilitators. Thank you. My question is actually is that I want to ask. Can you hear me?
Yes, hearing you.
Yeah, I want to ask. Sometimes ago I presented a paper, an abstract paper at a conference, and I was awarded a certificate. I was presented a certificate after the conference. Can it be added under the award section on my CV?
Certificate, is it an award? Is it an award or certificate for attending or for presenting?
Yeah, a certificate for presenting.
It's not an award. It's not an award, but every other person that presented in that program got the certificates, right? Did you hear my question?
Yes, yes.
Every other person that presented.
Your question is that.
Okay.
Okay, every other person that presented at that year, they was given a certificate. Yeah.
So it's not an award. Let me tell you the meaning of award and honors. Award and honors, like maybe you want to do Olympic, right? 3 persons are on the track. But let's say 10 people, right? Now they want to pick the first, second, third. So if you are first, second, third, it's an award. Anything you are giving to compensate you for being first, second, third is an award. But anything they give every other person, it's not an award. You get now. So anything that maybe your class, you are the best student or something, those are awards. So anything that makes you to be that pulls you out as the best or second best in a pool of people, right? It's an award. So if you are not in that category, it's not an award, but put it in your CV. Put it under publication. If it has been published, if it's not been published, put it under your what is it called? Okay, if not published, put it as review, like ongoing. If it's an ongoing research, put ongoing. If it has been completed, you can say under peer review. If it's an ongoing project, not yet submitted, say ongoing project. If it's if it has been submitted for review, say under just a peer review. But if it has been published, you put the DOI and all of that under your publication.
All right, thank you. Let's hear from Comfort Hajj. If you're there, can you unmute yourself and ask a question?
She's not here.
All right. So if your Comfort Hajj is not there, let me just read this question. Okay, Inyolu has already asked a question. So there's this question coming. Can I apply for PhD directly without master's? And what is the criteria? Thanks.
Bro Victor. Bro Victor.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Bro Femi, please let me in on my computer. You have been in the waiting room. So, yes, I came to Tufts. I didn't have a master's degree, so I got into a direct PhD. It's very possible. So some schools will give you a master's degree along the way upon partial completion of your PhD credits, but it really doesn't matter. So definitely you can get into a PhD program without doing a master's. Bro Femi Olugbon is also in the same category, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
So he also got in here without master's.
In fact, I want to emphasize, he was still a core member, right? When he left Nigeria. That means he must have gotten the admission before he was mobilized for NYSC, because he was at the middle of NYSC program when he left Nigeria. So that means, so that person, is it Elijah that asked the question or something? So please, you can start now. Please, you don't have to even do your NYSC. You can stop midway and leave.
All right, so another question, explain in full, like details, the difference between statement of purpose and academic statements, or personal statements and career statements.
Bro Victor.
Hello?
Bro Victor, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We're
All
here.
right. So what's the question again?
Explain what's the difference between statement of purpose, academic statement, or personal statement, or career statement.
So I'm not too sure of the answer, but let me try. I would recommend maybe Sister Esther chimes in, or you find out online. I can tell you specifically about statement of purpose. So statement of purpose is, as the name implies, you are stating the reason you want to come for the program. So you are explaining your purpose in the sense of, I like this specific research. I'm interested in how this bacteria affects turtles in the wild, and I want to see how I can, reduce the parasites or whatever it is. So that's like your purpose. And in your statement of purpose, you explain how that interest came to be. You explain what you have done in the past, and what you are currently doing to see how it works. So a personal statement, in my opinion, is part of your statement of purpose. So a personal statement reflects like your personal values, who you are, your motivations for what you want to do. It's more like me. It's like your Facebook profile or your LinkedIn profile of, okay, this is who I am. These are the things that I want to achieve, or like is just a statement of your person. Let me use that word. Then academic, what is the last one? Academic what?
Academic CV, academic statement.
Okay, so academic statement, all these things, of course, you would have to verify. But I think academic statement emphasizes more of your research and your academic work. It's more like probably like a research proposal as well, where you are explaining, you are focusing more on your academic credentials, and you are explaining what your academic history is and what you plan to do in the future. So they are all interrelated. But what you need to be worried about is your statement of purpose. That's what is needed for the admissions process. I think the undergraduates normally ask for personal statements, because at the undergraduate level, it is a lot more relevant. Like, okay, I was sleeping overnight and it took light and blah blah blah, and somebody died and all those stories you tell them. So, but at the graduate level, the statement of purpose is important.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
I also add to that question. I want to add to that response.
We have limited time, you know.
I know.
Right.
This is very key. SOP is a very key document in this thing we are talking about. Now, SOP see it as the father. Why appointment is like the mother, and all those career statements, all of that, they are like children. Everything they are covered by SOP. Even if now, mind you, when you're making applications, I'm supposed to tell you so requirements, personal statements. Please try to submit a statement of purpose instead. Because SOP, we cover everything. Cover your purpose, cover why that program, your long-term goal, your short-term goal. Then professors in the department that you think you can work with, that you have your interests aligning with this. These are things you have to put in your SOP, which may not be your personal statements. Thank you.
All right. That SOP, someone has the full meaning of SOP, so maybe you want to say that.
Statement of purpose.
All right, statement of purpose. All right, so this is question, can we include software skills CV such as Creo, NC that is self-learned without certificate being awarded?
Yes, you can. If it's in line with your, anything that is in line with your field, please put it. See, you cannot do too much information, put it, please. But don't go, if you are someone out to study elect, lady, you want to start putting catering, all this stuff. No, it's kind of uncorrelated, right? So please, anything that is in line with your field, anything, even without any certificate, put it, please. All right. So far, I'm sure you know it. But your education, don't put something that is not true. You don't have a master's degree, you now put in your CV that you have a master's degree. They will have to submit your master's transcripts. If you don't have it, that's a blow. You don't want to do that. But other things like skills, all of those stuff, they will not, I think they will not ask you for proof. Put it.
All right, thank you so much for your time. I believe everyone that is coming in for a PhD program must have a research proposal ready before application. If I am resuming to USA, which is a new environment to me entirely, must my research proposal align with my new environment, or I can cite a case study from my home country? Thank you.
Bro Felix, are you there? Okay, Bro Victor.
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, please answer the question.
That's a good question. Sincerely, you wouldn't want to approach a PhD program without a proposal. And let me say this way, proposal is just a window to a research you want to carry out. And to be sincere too, a proposal down the lane might not be the actual work you are going to do when you come in here. So a proposal is just a guide of an idea of what you can do as a researcher. So by the time you submit a proposal for an admission into a PhD program, you might expect a change or overhaul or entirely changing the topic, changing everything, but you need to enter first. It's a window. So get something good, get something reasonable, get something researchable, make it kind of related to whoever is in the faculty you are writing to or you're submitting your admission to.
We can't hear you. Okay.
Sorry. Be sure to get it modified. Be sure it must align with somebody or one or two research expertise in the field. Be open to recommendation. Be open. Don't be stiff-necked to Nigerian proposals. It doesn't sell here. Be open to whatever modification the advisor is asking you to modify, the methodology, the theory, or whatsoever. You need to enter the building. So get a window into it. That's a proposal. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I want to state this. Not all PhD programs require you to submit a proposal. But if your program requires to submit a proposal, that is when you have to. And I think you are probably a Ghanaian. You've not been to the US. You don't know the trading issues in your field as relating to your field as relating to US. You know probably of your home country. What I will say is this: you must have some research knowledge and skill in your field, right? Try to write something workable, something not too restricted, something that like try and be open-minded about the way you present your idea. And just like Bro Felix said. But however, not all PhD program need proposal for you to enter. Not all. I did not write proposal for my PhD for my application. I entered as it, but you must have research interest. That one is just compulsory. What do you want to do in your field? You want to study psychology? You want to study mathematics? What do you want to study? What interests you in that field? Those you must know. You must know professors in that department also apply to, that are in that research area you have interest in. You should be able to at least read about them so that you're able to cite them in your SOP. Please, your SOP is not complete without you citing at least 2 or 3 professors whose research interests align with yours, and probably cite one project, one research they have done. Please, this is is very, if you can put it in your SOP with other things that are key, I think you will surely hit them and blow their mind. Thank you.
All right. Please, we have 17 questions, so please be just quick to answer this question so that we can cover all the questions we have here. Hello, please. My question is this. I already have my transcript and international passport. I need the procedure for applying to US University. I think you need to watch the video, the first video that we watched, that we made first time. So I think
next question.
We really answer your question. So another question from Comfort Haji. Some schools state specifically to upload personal statement and academic statement differently.
Now, Bro Victor, you want to, Bro Felix, you want to come in? Bro Felix.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm kind of surprised to see the 2 coming up. But whatever the requirements, submit it. SOP, drop it in. Academic statement or writing sample, whatever the name, ensure you have something to submit. It's just a requirement. So the issue of the terminologies might not be the case now. The most common is the SOP, an academic writing sample. So I don't know where the school or which of the angles you are coming from, but make sure you are just fulfill the basic requirements. That will be fine.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Then also, please try and ask your graduate coordinator to explain what they mean by academic statements. We should try and ask them, please. And if they ask for a personal statement, you can still submit your SOP. SOP is like you are doing over syllabus of personal statements. So it's not too much if you put too much information, right? So still try to put, like, of course, your title for the document to be personal statement of Esther, or you put your name, right? That's the title. But the content, try and make it like putting your purpose, all of those stuff, even though they ask for personal statements. If you're coming in for graduate study, bachelors can skate through. We don't have issue with that. But PhD masters, please let your content be purpose driven and all of that. If you ask for academic statements, please, I am not very sure. It would be good if you mail the coordinator and ask questions, ask for possible content. Don't assume.
All right. So we give the opportunity for Elijah Lawal Ismail to ask a question. Do you have a question? Just ask real quick before we read the questions. Elijah, you have a question? Unmute yourself.
All right, please, can you hear me very clearly?
Yes, we're hearing you loud and clear.
Okay, I want to ask, you talked about direct bachelor's to PhD. So I wanted to ask if there are special requirements, and also is it also available for engineering programs?
Every program in the US, almost every, except some courses like all these agri-economies, I'm very sure of that. They don't, if you don't have masters, you can't get PhD. But most courses, most programs in the US, BSc to PhD are fine.
All right. Thank you so much.
Elijah was still talking.
All right, thank you. I said there are no special requirements, right?
No, it's general.
No. It's you just write GR. It's the same requirements. Masters and PhD is the same requirements.
All right. This question is, thank you so much. Do you mean SAT and ACT are prerequisites for just admission for bachelor's? I was thinking it also fun. Please clarify, ma. Thanks for your time.
Can you read the last part of the question? I think
you mean SAT and ACT are prerequisite for just admission for bachelor's? I was thinking it also for funding.
Yeah, no, let me state this. Just the way if you don't write GRE in America, right, you can get admission, but you will not get funding for some courses. You will not, even though you have the admission. Some schools will not even give you the admission at all because they know you are not like you are not kind of what they want to. You are not what they want to have in the program. But still also for bachelors. Some schools, I'll give a particular school, Western Illinois University in Illinois. They will not require ACT. They will give you admission, and there's no funding. All of these, some of these exams, they are like things you need to do to show your competence, to show that you are sound. Without GRE, I did not know the purpose of GRE until I got to the US. There's no way you will be weak you'll be weak with your scores in GRE. You won't tell me you will cope in all this like engineering and economics. It's not possible. These are things they use to rate your thinking, rate your how strong you are in quantitative aspects, how you can cope with rigor, how you can fix problems. These are ways they use to weigh you. That means somebody who with 1,200 in SAT, that person will be very sound, obviously. Then when you're talking of funding, you want to consider the person. So these are exams you have to write if you want funding. It's to increase your chances.
All right. Thank you. I would like the list of scholarship recommendation in the United States. I think that one is in our Telegram group, so you can visit that. The next question, because we have 24 questions now. My question is, I went to my alma mater for my recommendation letter. I was asked to apply first if it is the right thing.
Apply for it.
He went to his school, the alma mater, like for my recommendation letter.
They say you should write a letter, right?
So we were asked to apply first. Is that the right thing?
No, I don't think so. This is how it works. Approach professors or lecturers in your field. Please, if you're coming for PhD, try and have at least one professor. Try and have at least, and it doesn't have to be your supervisor. It doesn't have to have at least one professor, please. Now, if you don't have a professor, even with the PhD, but don't go if you can go for doctors. But not if you can avoid lecturers without PhD. If you can, please try. But PhD professors, you can go for them. Now, this is how it works. Approach them. Oh, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. Like I have this passion. I want to go for further studies. Can you recommend me? That's all. The person will just need to recommend you. You don't have to go through. I don't know which school. I don't know, and I don't know which country. But that's what I think I know. It's not so. It's an unofficial process. You don't have to go through all this, apply all of that. I don't think so.
All right.
But I don't know the peculiarity of your school and the country you are coming from. I don't know.
All right, we're running out of time now. Again, please you address the response to foreign professor via email. Like how do you respond to foreign professor via email?
Bro Felix, Bro Victor.
It's a simple logic. You just have to follow the formats. Everything must be official. You don't say, hi, Felix. Everything must be official. There are lots of formats online. You just have to, you need to cook the food very well if you really need the attention of the professor. If you send 10, one might reply, 9 might not even listen to you. So you should get in, is a school of thought. You should just enter that school of thought and get a good way to compose. You don't write with the way we write, fine. There are a lot of formats online you could actually use. The courtesy, the formality in email correspondence is a formal writing. It's not an informal writing. So it's not going to be a problem when you want to start it. Yeah.
Bro Felix, this same question this person asked the answer is in the Telegram group. The format has been posted.
All right.
Like I said earlier, I wish you guys watch the video. Like you will not be asking some questions.
All right, let's move to the next question, please. There's time to waste time. For direct bachelor's to PhD, their special requirement. Is it also available for engineering programs?
I think answered. Next question.
I think yes, please. A statement of purpose is about what you want to do, why personal. Okay, thank you so much for that. Is there a possibility to find schools that will not demand West evaluation or academic document? It seems it's need protocol in the USA.
No, so you don't need West unless maybe you did maybe a polytechnic degree. So I think for those who have an HND or so, those ones may actually need West, HND, OND, so they can.
Or if you have a low GPA, if you have a very low GPA.
Yeah,
We
but most
both
schools,
choose.
most schools don't. So here's another trick: you don't need stress. Like there's already enough stress in this program. Any school that is asking that compulsorily you must do West, just take it off your list. And the other trick is also the issue of transcripts, official and unofficial transcripts. Any school that is stressing your life on the internet, on their website, they said only official transcripts accepted. Just delete it. You don't have to for all that. So
all right, thank you so much. I think you visit the chat room and see what Bro Victor posted as the essential to serve. You know, when you're searching, there's a link right there. You can click it to get your personal, purpose and personal statement. So please, I have my transcript, passport, SOP, and academic CV. Please, can you help review my SOP and academic CV? And also, can I get sample of code mails sent to professor? Thank you.
It's on the Telegram.
All right. Thank you. All right. So
next question, please.
I will need the Telegram link, please. Anybody has the link, please, can you drop it? Okay, the link has
someone just dropped it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much, Elijah.
I think that's the question we have.
Some people have their answer.
Let's see. Adeyemi Itel P39. Can you please unmute yourself and ask your question? We have a few more minutes to go.
Yeah, good day.
Yeah.
Hello. Good day, Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
please, I want to ask a question in respect of bachelor to PhD. In fact, I don't know if it's possible. So I want to ask, is there any special requirement if you want to move from bachelor to PhD directly?
We have answered this question, I think, twice today. There's no requirement. It's just the normal requirements. Your GRE, your TOEFL, your SOP, all of that. And please, you don't need, in fact, funny enough, when you get to the US, you end up notice that you shouldn't have even done your master's. You could have just come for bachelor's. If PhD is your ultimate goal, please don't do master's. Come straight for your PhD. Don't waste your time, please. And there's no special requirements. All you need is just a transcript, your SOP, your LOR, all of those stuff. That's the same thing they also ask people that have masters too. So please.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. We're running up now. So is there anything that you want to just touch base on, Sister Esther?
I want to say something now. Please, this thing is kind of two-faced. Our advice, you try and guys that are coming from bachelors, especially if you don't have very good profile, our advice to divide your opportunity to. So maybe you want to apply to 10 schools. Try and make like, maybe if PhD is your ultimate goal, make like 6 with PhD and like 4 masters. Should it happen, anything happen, you have somewhere to go, right? I think I want to advise that if you don't have a very strong profile, you are coming from bachelor's to PhD, though you can actually get funding from BSc to PhD, but I don't know, some people don't have very good profile. Maybe they have 2.5, no like experience, nothing, it's just there. Please, I would advise you, try and do some master's application, but in a school, you can't apply to both MSc and PhD to the same program in the same school. It's not possible. You can try and share your roles, some master's, some PhD. Then anything you will be, but do more PhD. PhD is your ultimate goal.
All right, we have one question just coming out. Well done, team. Please, can we use our student transcript copy?
Come again?
Can we use our student transcript copy?
Yeah, no, yes. See, at the moment now, for guys in Nigeria, like ASUA has been improved. But in that case, you can use your students' copies at least to start relating with professors, right? But be sure you ask. I don't know how soon ASUA could be called up. I don't know. Send them your students' copy. You can go to your school account and bring out your whatever and send it to them. But be sure to, if ASUA doesn't follow the strike until September, October, we don't know, or November, tell those guys, those professors, that this is my challenge. I'm from Nigeria for the past 3 months. For some months now, there has been issues, all of this rights, all of these issues, industrial strike action. Can I use this? So let them decide for you. For your application.
Okay. Sorry, and I just want to interrupt. I want to show you people something. Like, people are doubting this bachelor's to PhD thing. So I'm going to share my screen and I will show you an example of my school.
Yeah, thank
so
you.
Look at okay.
Share your screen, bro, Victor. Okay.
Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, look at this place.
Engineering.
Look at this is Tufts. This is my university. Mechanical engineering. Look at this doctorate, right? So if you look at the application requirements, look at it. Application fee, resume, personal statement, transcript, 3 letters of recommendation, official GRE, this, that. Now, look at this. Let me go up. Masters. Look at the application requirements. Can you see that it's the same thing? Application fee, resume, personal statement, transcripts, 3 letters of recommendation, this portfolio optional. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's the same thing. You don't need to stress yourself.
Yeah. Don't need to.
So that's the way it is for most programs. It's the same requirement.
Yeah, US. So even we have guys of 19-year-old guys that are doing PhD already in the US, 19-year-old guys, 20-year-old guys already on their PhD. You don't have to go and stress yourself with masters and waste your time, please.
All right. Thank you so much. Associate degree would be an advantage for those who want to go to bachelor, to go back to BSc. I don't know.
Associate degree, we go to the embassy, they may not give you visa. See, you might get admission, though. See, you have, when you are planning, don't only plan for admission. Admission will come, right? If you have good profile, think of those guys at the embassy too. Please, if you are going to the VO and tell them you want to go for associate degree, I don't know. Some people, they come in for bachelors to the US, and when they get to the US, they can move to another school, move for bachelors. But at least you have entered US. But you need to think of how to cross the border, right, to this place. You may not get visa. You may not.
Can I submit application without submitting official transcript?
Yes, but it has to be a requirement that you can submit your unofficial. But when you're about to enter, after you have given the admission and the funding and everything, before you resume, or sometimes after a resumption, you will be made to submit your official. That's after you have gotten the funding and everything. But they can review your application with unofficial transcripts. Some schools, most schools, but be very sure, like Bopito advised. If it's a school that are telling you it's a must, you do official, and you don't have the money, please carry your bag and go. You don't have to stay. There are hundreds of schools in the US, hundreds of schools.
All right, Xfinity Hot, do you have any question? Because I see you raising your hand. Do you have any question? Anybody that have a question, please unmute yourself and just ask your question before we wrap up.
Yeah, I have a question, sir.
Go ahead.
Okay, thanks for the whole information. I'm a final year medical student here in Nigeria. My focus on this is why I have been in the UK. I never have much understanding of the US like this. And my plan has been IELTS exam. So I'm hearing of this GRE. Is it accepted in the UK? Because the main purpose of choosing UK was that I feel that UK is more easier to access, especially in terms of scholarship, because I wish to do my master's in public health before proceeding with other things in life. I may be wrong with that. So is this GRE accepted there? And then secondly, I've been opportune to do entire projects for a master's student. She is a registered nurse and she gave me everything and paid me to do it for her. So can I add that to my CV and then to put it as like, okay, instead of putting research assistant, maybe to put it.
I understand. Emmanuel, let me ask a question quickly. I think I understand your question. You are in the UK, right?
No, I'm in Nigeria, but
okay, you are in your final years, right? In your medical school, medicine and surgery. Now, let me tell you this very funny secret. Most guys that are doctors, medical doctors in Nigeria, what they do is this. Their ultimate bus stop is US, right? They want to come for a residency in the US. But to access US is very difficult. Not difficult because you have to write the exam and all of that. What they do is that they take UK route. They come to the UK so that they can work and they get enough money to go. The exam is very expensive, so that they can later come back to the US. US is a final bus stop for medical doctors, most of them. Some of them will go to UAE, Dubai to go and work. The plan is to come to the US. Now, what you can do, I would advise you finish your what is it called? Your
medical school.
Medical school, do your housemanship, then apply for public health 1-year program. Come into the US. With your master's in 1-year program, you can get a job. From your job, you earn some money, you save. Then you start writing those exams. You can see the residency. You don't need to do for public health, but you have to first of all finish your degree, be a doctor, a medical doctor. Apply for public health 1-year program. That's what people do. They try to do because it's master's with a degree in US, you can get a job. Yeah, but if you are coming from outside US to come and work here in Nigeria, you may not get a job. You may not. These guys are so funny. They are so, I don't know, they have this funny shakara. But if you have a master's program, like you school here, you will be able to get a job, work for like 1 or 2 years, raise the money, write the exam, then go for your residency and start practicing, then be a consultant and you're making your money.
Okay, the second question, Ma, is that ethically correct? Like for me to add, I said I was paid to do an entire project for a registered nurse. So is that ethically correct to add it to my CV? Like that is if I'm making up my CV as part of the research work that I've engaged in.
Should be nursing and then medicine. Are they unrelated?
They are related, but it wasn't my personal project. I was paid to do it for someone else.
It's research experience, right? But you will not say you are paid. You will say research assistant. That's what you did, right? That will be the caption under research experience. Then you will start writing what you did. You don't have to. It can be your personal research too, right? But it's not your research. You were what? Like assistant to someone. Then you put it your research experience.
All right, thank you, ma'am, for your time.
It's highly ethical. It's ethical.
All right. Everything that has a beginning will surely come to an end. So we're wrapping up tonight because we have a church in the evening, and we just have to Telegram group and start the conversation. So please, if you have not joined the Telegram group, there's a link that is posted on the chat room. Please click the link and ask your question there, and also feel free to relate and do your best, put all your best into this, because if you don't do anything, it won't work. So we want to appreciate all the seminarians, the facilitator, Bro Victor. Want to appreciate Sister Esther, Bro Felix, and the people that we can't mention their name. Want to appreciate everyone, the viewers that take their time to come over here. I can't mention the name, but I can see your faces. But we want to appreciate you. And once again, we are the young adults of Deeper Life Bible Church here in Manchester. So we just want to add little to these. So please try to apply to New Hampshire. We'll take good care of you. And it's though the undergraduate people, they have testimonies.
In fact, we have lots of funding in New Hampshire. We have lots of funding. University of New Hampshire. So please give me a secret. And I should be able to, I don't know, I'm not very sure, but I should be able to get free Apple Uber code. I should, but I'm not very sure.
All right.
Please, UNH they have funding. It's another one school, they have money. Please apply.
All right, we just wait. And also if you have now watch us on YouTube, please go there and just watch us, like and comment and subscribe to our channel. And one thing, before I came to United States, I started watching things in United States. Before I came over, I started doing like I belong to them, start mingle, start knowing what's going on, start feeling yourself. That's the faith you are practicalizing. So start seeing what we're doing here, and it won't be strange to you when you see us, the way we talk, the way we relate, because when you get here, the first 2 or 3 days, they just why, what are you saying? So start learning, watching movie, how they speak, how they relate, and learn about us, and keep praying for us. So we want to thank you so much, and on behalf of the Pastor Adekoya, we want to appreciate you also for helping us out in this church, and the rest. We're back to our Telegram for any questions and contributions. So thank you all, and do have a wonderful night rest.